Okay, welcome to Bambu Batu. Very pleased today to have Ximena Londoño here with me, a longtime bamboo specialist, expert researcher, bamboo scholar of the highest caliber. It's a real pleasure to have you here. Real briefly, if you like bamboo, please check out my website, bambubatu.com. Like and subscribe and do all that stuff and help us to promote free bamboo education across the internet and around the world. Thanks a lot. Ximena, welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you here. I was just reading your CV, your resume, and I've heard some great things about you, but reading your resume, it's very impressive. Pages and pages of bamboo experience and publications that you're in. I see you've studied quite a few species. You've discovered many species. You even have 4 different bamboo species named after you, correct?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's. I'm sure you're very modest, but definitely something to be proud of. I think anyone who really studies plants or trees or bamboo, that's kind of a life goal, is to have a species with your name on it. So that's yeah, congratulations on that. Yeah, so where did you're based in Colombia? You have
I am in the central part of Colombia, in the department of Quindío, in Montenegro. Is the town close by.
Okay. So you're up in the mountains?
It's 1,200 meters above sea level. It's in a very good weather climate, so it's fresh, but it's in the middle of the mountain. It's lowland, a little bit lowland.
Okay, nice. So Colombia is pretty known for having really good conditions for bamboo. The tropical, equatorial, high elevations, the Guadua angustifolia grows especially well there. And I saw on your resume you've done a lot of research into different aspects of Guadua, as well as many other species of bamboo. And you have a collection of bamboo, the bamboo park there, Bambu Paraiso, Bamboo Paradise. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do there?
Okay, in 1988, I start my bamboo collection in the Paraiso of Bambu and Guadua, and the first plant was bring by my colleagues and friends, Lynn Clark. So now we have more than 35 years that I start that collection, and actually I have a little bit more than 19 species of bamboo, but it's lowland bamboo, tropical bamboo, and most of them are packing more rhizome bamboo.
Okay, so the tropical clumping bamboo. How many species did you say? 90?
90.
90, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good collection. They're all, I imagine you have the neotropical species, South American species, as well as some Asian species also?
Yeah, and Africa too. It's
Okay.
one of the biggest collection in Latin America, this collection. Yeah, I have woody bamboos and I have herbaceous bamboos too. So I have different genera and species.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah. I use that collection for a research project with different universities. So this collection is open to the research project of the Javeriana University in Bogota, National University of Colombia, also Palmira, Bogota, Manizales. So this collection is for a research project.
Okay, so it's open. Is it open to the public, or it's only open to students and researchers?
No, when the public people came to visit the Bambu and Guadua Paradise, they have the opportunity to see the diversity. But not every single one, because it's a pathway you pass by. no, but they can figure how different bamboo are, how different color, different form, different shape, different side of leaves. So people here in Colombia only have in his mind Guadua. So when they can see all this diversity, they became very impressed about the bamboo, how diversity this group of plants are.
Yeah, I'm sure it's must be very impressive, because yeah, the variety of bamboo is amazing, and yeah, Guadua is obviously one of the most impressive species, but it's real interesting to see the little ones, the little herbaceous, soft bamboos, and then yeah, like you said, the different colors, different shapes, different leaf sizes, and different textures. Yeah, it's quite amazing, and yeah, I was really impressed by it. Looked like quite a few different species that you've discovered, and also it looked like one or two genuses or genera that you have discovered also.
Yeah, we have. I have working with my colleagues, like Lynn Clark, Dr. Sodestrom, Eduardo Ruiz, Cristir, and we have named 6 new genera for neotropical bamboos.
6 new
So,
genera.
yeah,
Wow. Nice.
Edemocaulon is one. So Albimia is another one.
Okay.
Tivicia is another one. Aulonemiela. There are genus. So to find species in the nature is difficult, but not as difficult that to find a genus.
What's it? Alonemia is one that you discovered?
Aulonemiela.
Okay.
It's a new genus from the Andes. One species in Ecuador, another in Colombia and Ecuador, from the highland.
Okay, nice.
Eremocaulon is from Brazil. Has been only reported in Brazil.
Okay, so you've traveled quite a bit, spent a lot of time in the forest and the jungles to discover these plants, I imagine.
Yeah, that is the world of the bamboo botanist. To all any kind of botanist to go to the field, to pristine areas, very not disturbed by the human, and we try to understand the diversity that there are in that place, and because we became expert in that group, we can say that this is different than the rest that has been described. So we can say, as a authority in that group, that this is a new species, no? But behind that, this field work, you have to work a lot in the herbario. You have to read a lot. You have to study a lot, to visit the type collection. And most of the type collection from the first descriptions are in Europe, in the herbarium of Paris, in Kew, Copenhagen, Praga. So, and you have to go and visit and see the types material. So it's a long life around bamboo research. It's a passion of life, and I am very lucky because I can dedicate my life to promote and research this marvelous plant that is the guadua and bamboo.
Nice. It's yeah, identifying known bamboo species is pretty difficult. People send me photos all the time asking me, "Hey Fred, what type of bamboo is this? Oh, I found this bamboo. What species is it?" And maybe they send one picture, maybe they send 4 or 5 pictures, and it takes a long time of studying bamboo to be able to recognize one species. Some species are pretty easy to recognize, but many species look like many other species. It's difficult. So to find a new species and to know that it's a species that is different than any other species, when there's about 1,600 different species, so it must be very difficult to be positive that this is a new species that no one has seen before. But pretty exciting also to discover those. Are you able, if you discover a new species in the jungle, have you been able to bring any of those species back to your farm, to the bamboo paradise, to your collection, or do you just leave those in the wild undisturbed?
Well, really, we do not discover, we describe, because the species are in the nature. Yeah, the thing that we do is to describe that is a new species. And yes, because sometimes bamboo have the problem that the very long flowering period, between one flower period and another, can pass many years, 120 years, 50 years. So sometimes I has been in the field and realized this is a new species but no flowers. So I brought that plant to my garden, and in one case I have to wait 23 years before flower, and after 23 years we realized that it's a very good new species of the genus Otatea, and the expert came from Mexico, Eduardo Ruiz, and we described it's called Otatea colombiana. Another that I found in the field in the Amazon of Colombia, I knew it's totally different that I have seen before, no flowers. And after 14 years, flower, and I can make the description. So because flower is the most important character for the description of a new species.
Just to explain for people watching on the video here, yeah, to officially publish, announce a new species of bamboo, you have to see it flowering. It's not enough to find a bamboo in the wild and say this is a new species. You have to wait until it actually flowers, and then you can be 100% sure that by studying the flower that this is a different species. And like you said, it takes sometimes 20 or 30 or 100 years. You have to wait for this bamboo to flower again. And so it's very difficult to really discover or describe officially a new species of bamboo. Takes great patience, which obviously you have a lot of patience. You said you waited 23 years with the bamboo in your garden to see it flower. Yeah, that's fantastic. Are there many bamboos flowering currently on your property?
Yeah, herbaceous bamboos, they can flower permanent, like especially Olira latifolia. This is a bamboo that flowering almost every single day. Litagne is another genus that also have frequent flowers. But the bamboo, different that most of the species, they have this cycle of flowering very different than most of the plant. So that is difficult to find also persons to wants to study bamboo, because you are not going to find 100% sure in the field with flowers. But sometimes we knew that it's a very different species, and we describe with flowers. But then after many years pass and with flowering, we have to complement the description and confirm that it's a new species. So that happens sometimes.
Okay.
We have described species without flower, but I personally I prefer with wait and describe with the flowers.
Nice. I didn't know that about the herbaceous bamboo, which, just again to clarify for non-experts watching, most of the bamboo that we're familiar with is called woody bamboo. It's got the woody culm or the woody stem, which you can use to make a fishing pole, or you can build a hut, or you can build any kinds of structures with bamboo poles because they're really strong, woody stems. But there's a whole category of bamboos, herbaceous bamboos, which are very soft and Most people would not recognize them as bamboo. They just look like a little shrub or some wild grass or something. But I didn't realize that those flowered on a very regular basis. And so
Some of them.
some of them.
Some of them, yeah.
So most bamboo, well, there's a lot that we don't know about bamboo flowering because of these long cycles. But there are a lot of bamboos will flower and then they die after they flower. So it takes maybe 80 or 100, 120 years, and then it flowers, and then the bamboo dies, kind of like other grasses like corn or wheat or rice. They grow for 1 year, they flower, and then they make seeds, and then they die. But with bamboo, it takes a lot longer. But then there's some bamboos will flower.
But not always have this gregarious flowering, because bamboo can have sporadic flowers or continuous flowering. So there are 3 types of flowering system. No, not always flowering and die.
Right. And so there's a lot of bamboo flowering right now around the world. All the Philostachys nigras are flowering. People are sending me pictures from the United States. I visited a bamboo farm in Portugal last month, and all their henan, which is a variety of Philostachys nigra, all the henan is flowering right now, and it looks like the bamboo is dying, but there's some debate whether it will all die or if maybe it will come back 5 years from now. It's a bit of a mystery, because I think henan is one of the species that it's about 80 or 100 years between flowering. I don't remember exactly, but it's like a human lifetime, basically, from one flowering cycle to the next. So people are very curious to see what happens. I don't know if you have any theories or insight on that species. I know it's not a tropical species, but
no, it doesn't grow here. But I knew that it's flowering right now, and they have long period time of flowering cycle. Yeah.
So yeah, people are worried that it's all going to die off because it's gregarious. They're all flowering at the same time, which is also fascinating.
But it's amazing because I am realized that the strong weather change that we are suffering now has motivated bamboos to flowering a lot. During the last 2 years, I have seen here in my collection 6 species flowering: Bambusa longispiculata, Cephalostachys pergracili, Bambusa polymorpha, Dendrocalamus minor, Guadua superba. So many species are flowering, and that didn't happen before. So I say maybe bamboo is very smart plant. They find that they are in a dangerous situation now, so they have to multiply, reproduce before extinguish. Something like that is my theory, because many are flowering now. Many.
That makes sense. Well, it's normal, I think, for plants to flower when there's a stress, like a stress response, if there's not enough water, or if it gets too hot, or some other change in condition. So I can imagine for something like bamboo that has a long time between flowering, if there's noticeable change in climate change, which most people are aware of, it makes sense that the bamboo would sense that and respond by flowering. But it's really interesting that you have observed that on your farm. Yeah, obviously there's a lot we can learn from nature if we stop and listen and pay attention to it, which you've been doing for a few decades now, paying very close attention to your bamboo. So yeah, it's really fascinating. Another area of bamboo that I find fascinating is the use of bamboo for medicine. I don't know if you have any any special insights on that, medicinal uses of bamboo?
Yeah, the last 2 years from the University Javeriana in Bogota, they has been doing research for mama cancer of mama with different native Guadua species. I have here a big collection of species from the genus Guadua. I'm more than 1,550. So from Mexico, from Brazil, from Peru, from Colombia, from Ecuador, from the Amazon, and they came from the university. It's a PhD research project that with the Organización Mundial de la Salud, the Health World Organization, to find plants to control cancer of mammal. And in that research, many of the species of guadua present a lot of antioxidants, and especially 2 or 3 are very good result for that purposes. It's still in research, but they have been get in the lab very good results. So for cancer of mama.
That's from so eating the bamboo shoots?
No, from the leaves. From the leaves.
Oh,
yeah.
So making tea.
No, I don't know. Taking the phytochemical components of the leaves and analyze and see how many antioxidants, how many, and they realize this species are better than that one for that purposes because they already know.
Okay. But so to get those medicinal benefits, you would make tea from the leaves, or you grind them into a powder, or
I don't know what is. I maybe in the future for some medicine, from big labs, they are only find the active ingredient, and to see is this plant can contribute to control that. After they prove and they say it's okay, the research continued, and also I imagine a lab like MK or Badger or something have to be interested to see that result and maybe to did more in that research, and I don't know, but at least this primary research show that they have good antioxidants and components to control mama cancer of mama. It's a primary research.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I know there's some great health benefits associated with the bamboo shoots and bamboo tea. But yeah, it's interesting to hear this type of research happening for cancer research with bamboo. Yeah, it's amazing how much there is in the world of bamboo and how much we have yet to learn about it. But there's definitely a lot of new interest in bamboo just in the last few years, using bamboo more for construction, bamboo toilet paper, for example. Nowadays, at least in the United States and in some parts of Europe, you can find bamboo toilet paper very easily. There's more and more awareness of bamboo for producing oxygen and absorbing carbon dioxide to help against climate change. And I wonder if you have any thoughts about the growing popularity of bamboo and bamboo farming and bamboo industrializing bamboo. Do you have any thoughts on that? There's a lot of people who want to start planting bamboo farms, for example, to make building material or to absorb CO2 or something else.
Well, in Colombia, where bamboo more occur is in the Andes region. It's mountain area. It's not flat area. So we cannot have big area like, for example, in Brazil. Now in Brazil, they have more than 2,000, 2,000 to 200,000 hectares
Right.
of planted bamboo for biofuel. So it's a very flat area, and they manage like a sugarcane plantation. Here in Colombia, it's more mountain area and it's more difficult, but we have a lot of native bamboo growers, plantation, guaduales. We call guaduales. It's not plantation because nobody has been planted. Always has been there in the nature. It's native from the area. But the problem in Colombia is that we have a legislation that don't let us to harvest and post-harvest the bamboo that we have in our own land. We require permissions from environmental organization, and these permission are difficult to get, and because they have a very close mind, only environmental service of this bamboo forest. We want to call forest, but it's not forest, of this bamboo rodent. But also people can use, because bamboo need to be managed, and if you make a sustainable manage of these natural bamboo areas, the rural people can benefit and they can continue there without not damage. But we have been fighting for more than 25 years with the government, with the nation, to understand that bamboo is not a tree, it's a grass, it's a giant grass that they have be able to auto-reproduce. They are able to, we make a good management, we make a sustainable management, we always will have this bamboo area there, and the people can benefit from that. It's difficult. The law was approved in 2022 May, but the law has been to be regulated by the Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Agriculture, and we have not able yet to regulate it. So we have the law, but we cannot apply the law, because the law, one of the requests of the law, that this ministry have to regulate how we are going to do.
Okay, they need to regulate it. Yeah,
regulate it, and it still is not happening. But we continue make a pressure to the government to regulate that law. We hope someday. We have passion. We are a taxonomist of bamboo, and so we now have 25 years, and we have to continue it. In India, they took 19 years, 90, to change bamboo as a forestry plant for a grass plant. So now the law say bamboo is a grass. That say the law now. So they cannot include as a forestry plant, no, because the new law say there is a grass, no, that is not regulated.
That's frustrating, yeah, because bamboo, yeah, that's the great thing about bamboo. You can, if you harvest it correctly and responsibly, you can harvest it continuously. Obviously, there's a right and wrong way to do it. If you over harvest, then you can destroy the forest, and so naturally they want to avoid the over harvesting, which could destroy the forest. But when it's done properly and sustainably, it's an incredible resource. It creates jobs, creates revenue. It actually makes the forest healthier when you're taking out the older culms and making room for new growth. And the benefits go on and on, which I don't need to explain to you. But it's frustrating trying to explain the cycle of bamboo growth to people who think bamboo is a tree, or they think it's something else. But yeah, bamboo's growth habit it's not like other plants. It's not like trees. So
it's a very dynamic population. It's a very dynamic. So it's totally different that tree. And the problem here is that if when you have a small land and the tax increase and you cannot make income from that piece of land, with the strong regulation, the owner destroy the guaduales and they destroy, eliminate. So many areas has been eliminated because this excessive legislation and absurd legislation. So many areas of guaduales in Colombia are disappear.
So the law says you can't harvest the bamboo, and so, but then people destroy the bamboo instead.
They are to planted coffee or grassland or corn or pineapple, so you have an income.
So the law has the opposite effect. They want to stop people from removing the bamboo.
But not the law, the legislation previous to the law that we got 2 years ago is going to promote bamboo in in the foreign frontier, agricola frontier. You can plant it, and it's not going to be legislated without law, without legislation. But now we don't have nothing new. We have the same that 20, 30, 40 years ago. Haven't changed because have not changed. We have the new law, have not changed.
Well, let's hope they sort that out quickly. Yeah, it's frustrating. So, well, it's amazing talking to you. Your knowledge of bamboo is vast and incredible. I would love to come and visit the bamboo paradise someday. So it's open to the public. If I happen to be in Colombia sometime, do you need an appointment to come and visit? Is it open all the time, or how does that work?
Yeah, well, I would love to have you here. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Anytime. And the Bambu and Guadua Paradise is open every single day, but it's with an appointment. We need an appointment.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's difficult to attend. Yeah. People have to call one day before or early in the morning to say we are going this afternoon, and we only have to tour by day one in the morning from 9 to 12 and one in the afternoon for 2 to 5 p.m. But it's necessary to make an appointment.
Okay, nice. Do you guys sell bamboo products there at the park? Like if I want to get some bamboo shoots for lunch while I'm there, or I know that there's some bamboo that produces a fruit. It'd be nice to try out some juicy bamboo fruit. Is that possible there?
I have some bamboo products like bamboo shoot. I have the first bamboo plantation as a food in Colombia with because that was another lucha that we have been fighting also for 16 years, but that the Minister of Agriculture recognized Bambu and Guadua as a agricultural chain, because before we don't have accepted by the Minister of Agriculture of a grow plant, of a agricultural plant. So in 2021 is a resolution that now we are an agricultural chain of Guadua and Bambu. And because of that, we can apply to the credit that the government have to any different crops. So if you want to plant bamboo, you can apply to this fund, a national fund like Finagro, and I request the first credit in Colombia to planted 1 hectare of bamboo as a human food. And it was very interesting because the people who ordered the credit, they didn't know that bamboo was edible. They are very surprised. They ask many questions. They are, how come bamboo is edible? You can eat, and how this work, and and call me the gerente, the manager of the bank, the analyst of the credit. Everybody very curiously about to apply for a credit for bamboo as a crop, but as a food. It was interesting, but now we can do that because we now are agroforestry plant.
Nice. That's fantastic. Well, I really need to make my way to Colombia. I was in Colombia about 20 years ago for my honeymoon. We went to Medellin and Cartagena for our honeymoon a long time ago. We've wanted to go back to Colombia for a long time. And yeah, your bamboo paradise would definitely be one of the places to visit while we're there. So.
We have it's like we can offer to the people where to stay. It's not a big hotel. It's a very simple place when the people can be. So it's like a hostel, but it's not a hostel. But yeah, it's we have a nice place so people who can stay. We can bring the hospitality. Yeah,
that's terrific. I will call first to make an appointment.
And you can stay here also. So
that sounds wonderful.
You can listen the birds in the morning. That we have many different bird species and animals. It's an amazing place.
Nice. How big is it? How many hectares?
I have 17 hectares.
Okay. 17 hectares and 90 species of bamboo, plus lots of other plants and trees.
And 127 species of birds, and 18 reptiles, and 10 mammals.
Wow.
So it's a very diverse, small place. It's amazing because when I received the land from my mother, I don't have that biodiversity because I has been during these 22 years, I has been doing corredores biológicos or life corridors to connect fragments that has been discontinued, and now I have connect all my land, and it's amazing how the animals are coming. Before I never have seen that once. So it's incredible how fast the nature respond to any little care that you make. No, they need that you do something to respond very easy. No.
Nice. So it's not just a bamboo paradise. It's a wildlife corridor with birds and reptiles and mammals and trees, and sounds amazing. I need to go look for cheap flights to Colombia.
You are welcome. Very welcome, Fred. You are welcome.
All right. Thank you, Ximena. It's been wonderful talking with you. I hope we can speak again soon, or better yet, meet in real life somewhere. Are you going to any other bamboo events anywhere else in the world? Are you pretty much working in Colombia all the time? For example, there's a bamboo event in Germany this May.
Yeah, I am going to a bamboo event in Costa Rica in March, and also I am going to Guatemala in March, but I went to Ecuador by November for an event, also academic event and bamboo tour. So yeah, I travel a lot.
Well, I think we'll probably meet up someday sooner than later. If not in Colombia, then maybe in Costa Rica or somewhere in Latin America. That would be fantastic. Well,
Okay.
I
I
thank you
hope you
again.
can be this year is the Latin American bamboo, Latin American and Caribbean bamboo symposium is in Costa Rica. It's probably by November this year, so maybe we can meet there. And all the
November.
bamboo people who wants to go to Costa Rica are invited for this symposium.
Okay, I'll put that on my calendar. I didn't know about that event. So November 2024 in Costa Rica. Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm sure you're busy and have some plans to get back to. So I'll let you go. But I look forward to speaking again. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you to you, Fred, and have a nice day. Bye.